Revenge films.
When my son was 2 years old, he got an illness that causes water to collect in his testicles. He had to get surgery. He had to be hospitalized for 2 weeks. When he got out, we got on a train to head home. It was the end of March. The train was always crowded during this time. I knew the date ahead of time, so I bought 2 reserved seats beforehand. He was still 2 years old, so he could still ride for free if he sat on my lap. Note: preschoolers get to ride the train for free if they sit on their parents' lap. But he just had surgery, and I didn't think it was a good idea for him to sit on my lap, so I got him a seat as well. I carried my son and got onto the train. The reserved seats were almost full. Actually, there were more passengers than there were seats. The non-reserved cart was packed with people standing in the aisle. I let him sit next to the window so he didn't get bored. The train started moving, and both of us started looking out the window. Then, about 30 minutes later, some lady walked in with her daughter, who was probably in elementary school. Then, "Look! This one is open! Come on!" She started walking towards me. Looks like her daughter had an injured foot. "Excuse me, could you scoot over?" These are our seats," I replied. "What? How old is he? You're supposed to make him sit on your lap! You didn't know that?" She started yelling at me. "But I paid for his seat too, so," I said weakly. "You know your son can ride for free if he sits on your lap, right?" "Yeah." "And you still paid for his seat?" "Yes. See, he just got out of the hospital, so I wanted to give him some room." But she didn't believe me. "What a dumbass! Who does that? What a waste of money!" She just laughed at me. I was never good at arguing with people. The lady just kept yelling at me. All I could do was just sit there in silence. But she just kept going on and on. "I'll let you off the hook this time, but don't do this again when you use public transportation with your kid. Especially not during the busy season. Be more considerate. You know he can ride for free if he sits on your lap, right? But if you want to get a seat for him, you gotta pay. You're so ignorant." What? I knew that. Was she even listening to me? But I didn't say anything. "If he's not feeling well, let him sit on your lap. My daughter's foot is injured too, you know." Then she rolled up her daughter's pants and showed me her ankles. It was wrapped in bandages. "See this? She can barely stand up! And the non-reserved seat is full. Don't you feel bad for her?" Then she took my bag and put it up in the cabinet. Then she pushed me towards the window and took over my seat. "Stop! You're embarrassing me!" But she just picked up her daughter and made her sit on her lap. "It's okay, dear. Now you can sit. She's so kind. Say thank you." She looked pretty happy. I ended up sitting in the same seat with my son. But after a little while, he started complaining. He wasn't feeling well. I stood up to go and buy some snacks for him, but the lady and her daughter were blocking my way. "Excuse me, could you let me through?" "Huh? What now? Stop bothering us." She seemed really annoyed. She picked up her daughter and moved out of the seat to let me through. We moved to the snack cart. I got him some juice and snacks. After a little while, he was feeling better. But if I go back to my seat, he'll have to sit on my lap again. I didn't want him to start crying again, so I decided to stay out here for a while. Then, I headed back to my seat to get something from my bag. Around the same time, the train conductor was going around checking everyone's tickets. That lady was arguing with the conductor. "What's going on?" I asked. There you are. He's saying we shouldn't be sitting here. Tell him what happened. Huh?
I asked her for her ticket, but she only had a ticket for the non-reserved seat, so I was asking her to move. But she said that the passenger who was sitting next to her gave her the seat, so...
So, what's the problem? She gave me her seat. End of story. Hey, tell him! I didn't know what to say. Then the conductor asked me.
Did you give her your seat?
Well, she said her daughter was injured, so he understood what I was getting at.
Ma'am, you're gonna have to move. This is a reserved seat. She has tickets to both of these seats. You gotta move.
But he's a baby. She should let him sit in her lap.
Like I said, she paid for 2 seats, plus...
Then he looked at me for a second, so I nodded.
Her son just had surgery. That's why he can't sit on her lap.
The lady didn't know what to say. Before she showed up, I told the conductor about my son. Why didn't you say anything? If I knew that. Seriously? She didn't even try to listen.
All right, come on now, move it. Don't try this again.
The lady got kicked out of her seat. But my daughter! Right as she said that, her daughter started crying. The conductor panicked.
Oh, it's okay, dear. Sorry I raised my voice like that.
He apologized to the girl, but she shook her head and said, "No! I'm the one that should be apologizing!" Huh? We were so confused. My ankle is fine! Huh? Hey, what are you? You sprained your ankle, remember? She was panicking. Her daughter told us everything. Looks like the lady wanted to sit down, so she wrapped her daughter's ankle in bandages and told her to act injured. We didn't even know what to say to her anymore. The other passengers all started staring at her. "I'm sorry. I made it all up. I won't do it again." She finally gave up and apologized. She grabbed her daughter's hands and went back to the non-reserved car. Finally, peace at last. After that, my son and I enjoyed the train ride together in our seats. He was feeling much better too. Thank goodness everything worked out.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.